Everybody, welcome back to an episode of The Wide presented by All American Roof Pros. I'm your host, Kaden Mullins, here talking with my little brother and one of our production managers here at All American Roof Pros today on the podcast. As you guys know, the rules are simple. We're not here to talk about business. We're here to talk about our purpose. So as we dive into it here, I'll go ahead and let you introduce yourself, Kaden, and to the rest of the world.
Yeah, so my name's Kaden Mullins. I'm one of the production managers here at All American Roof Pros. I've been doing this since the whole thing started, so I've been here the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, technically, you've been off and on through high school, but you were kind of employee number 0, or maybe longest tenured at least, right?
Yeah.
So why don't you just kind of share with everybody what your day-to-day looks like here?
So my day-to-day here, it's really a lot of driving. I got to make sure all of our projects and everything is in place and ready to go every day. Got to, schedule out everything, make sure all the materials are on time. I have a real good connection with all our suppliers. Talk to them at probably 5-10 times a day, each supplier, ABC and middle exteriors. They help me out a lot. And then, making sure the runner and all the trailers and stuff are there on a daily basis. So just a lot of driving.
Cool, man. What would you, we all the time are talking about purpose and who we are as people. What would you, I guess, define your purpose as, not even so much work-wise? What do you think your reason for being here is on Earth? Why do you think God put you here?
I think I'm here to help other people. We always say we don't do it for the money. We do it, to see the smile on everyone's face. Even though we're in the roofing industry, we impact people's lives every day, more than we really think. And it's really cool because, we put one roof on, that's not impacting just their life, their kids, their grandkids, and most of our roofs are going to last longer than our lifetime. And so that's just impacting generations and generations. So, it's real cool to know that when I leave a house, they're never going to have to worry about their roof again unless, the warranty's up and it's time to go.
Yeah. So, you said that you're here, you feel like, to help and make impact on people's lives. And outside of work, how do you feel like you're doing that on a day-to-day basis?
There's still some, like, high school kids and stuff like that. I grew up playing baseball, so I know a lot of people all over the United States that are playing at high levels and stuff like that. I have a really good impact with, like, some of the college coaches around the United States. So I have a lot of kids, ask me, like, about the recruiting process and stuff like that, and, like, how I did it, and, help them if they want contacts, and then, like, some coaches will ask me if I know anybody. So really just helping kids, try to, get that next step in their goal and hit the, the dream that everybody has if you're an athlete.
Awesome, man. So, baseball was a massive part of your life, and I think it's super important to touch on. What was that transition period like for you from playing college ball to obviously coming to work and what is by a lot of measures, a hyper family business?
Yeah.
I mean, it used to be a running joke that 75% of the people that worked here were family, and that was true for a while. We're super fortunate now that we've got a lot of great people outside of family that are now working for us.
Yeah.
But what was that transition like for you?
So, that transition was difficult, I've been playing baseball since I was 4 years old all the way up until I was,
You can cuss, it's my podcast.
Yeah, shit. Since I was, like, about 19. Yeah, I just turned 19, played out through fall ball, It was difficult because, every day waking up was, what am I going to do to get better? I played football as well, but, it didn't really impact my life as much as baseball did. I was working out probably twice a day, hitting the cage in the morning and at night. So, there was a lot of late nights and stuff like that. So it was different. But it definitely helped me lead into the workforce, because we put in some long hours here. So, it's nothing new out of the ordinary. Everything goes hand in hand together. So, and then it helped me be a leader, and I think it's made me more successful.
Yeah, so baseball was 15 years of your life, and oftentimes I'm talking to folks, and I actually just had this conversation with Bailey, my sister-in-law, yesterday. We were in the car for about 6 hours, and we as humans tend to wrap our entire identity up in something. Yours in that instance was baseball. A lot of parents end up wrapping their identity into parenthood, and that's why we have empty nest syndrome. So, I'm sure that's something you're still probably dealing with.
Yeah.
And just to keep it real, because that's all we're here for. What was the hardest part? Like, what do you miss the most, or what was the hardest transition point for you?
Like, so I played catcher, so, you talk to everybody on the team. I think the hardest transition was, just seeing, like, people that you grew up with, playing, and then that they're still playing, and then you're not. I mean, but, it happens, and then, like, you just want to see them guys succeed. But the biggest thing is just friendship, because you played your whole life with some of these guys. And then, like, baseball, it's kind of weird. I mean, it could be about any sport, You could play, like, a game, 3 seasons, it doesn't matter, half a season with those guys, and then, I mean, that's a lifelong friendship that you have the rest of your life. I mean, I talked to probably, 45 people that I played with just from high school, like junior high to college. I talked to them on a regular basis. So
that's cool, man. So a lot of valuable relationships obviously came out of baseball, is what it sounds like for you, and I'm glad that it transpired into your work ethic today. What in today's view, and this can change constantly, but if what do you envision the end of your life looks like today, to be done perfectly the way that God laid it out to be?
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely, hopefully be retired by that point, save my money well enough. But I want to have a golf shop. I don't know, it's just like one thing, and I don't know. I really like golf, golf/baseball shop, just so I can bring those kids in, teach them the stuff. I have a lot of buddies that are really good at golf, so, bring them in with me, they can train them kids, and then we can all train them in baseball. I'd be somewhere with my family, pretty close, but, I'd hope to have some houses in different area codes, so.
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess, what does ultimate fulfillment look like was the answer to that question.
Yeah, I mean, my ultimate fulfillment, just helping like younger kids, see that there's a purpose in life, and if you got a dream, you got to strive for it. So helping them, guide them that way.
Okay, is there a number on that you can come up with? Like, I was just at a retreat in Texas, and we did the rise exercise that we did with everybody at the retreat, the one that everybody made fun of, the why.
Yeah.
And it's good to make fun at it, but at the end of the day, it's real, and just determined that a lot of mine have to center around kids. So I said my BHAG for my life is to directly impact the lives of 10,000 local children through my business efforts, through my mentorship, and through speaking. So I guess I would, if you can't come up with something, and you really shouldn't probably come up with something this quick because it's not something you thought about, but I think, and just for the folks at home, narrow it down, like get a number in line. If your goal's to, if your goal, and it can be small goals are okay. Maybe it's just to directly change the lives of 10 children, but you're doing that at a very, very high level to where it's through adoption or something of that nature. Or for you, maybe it's seeing 5 of the kids you coach and work with go pro. They should be, like I tell everybody, when we talk about our goals, they shouldn't be so far out of reach that we can't grab them, but also they shouldn't be so close that they're comfortable. They should be just out of reach, so that way I know it's there, I know it's attainable, but I got to work for it, right? Because, so many people at the end of our lives, we retire and then we die, right? Like, how many times do you hear that? Somebody retires and then they die. Well, that's because they lost their purpose. It all goes back to purpose, right? That's really what the why is, in my opinion. It's the purpose. That's good, man. What would you give? So you're extremely, you're 20. You're going to be 21 this year. What advice would you give to a kid right now that's just, you're the closest person that we have in this building, the closest person that we have in this building to graduation, So, and obviously graduation's right around the corner, and hopefully there's a few kids that are on the cusp of graduating, or maybe even parents that are, their kids are getting ready to graduate. So what piece of advice, if you could give one piece of advice to the kid that's getting ready to graduate, maybe doesn't know 100% what he wants to do, what would you say to that kid? What would you say to Kaden just, a few short years ago?
High school is real fun. It is. And then when we're in high school, we always wish to get out. We want to be out. We want to be that certain age where you can go out and do your own things. We want to know what the real world's like. But really, take it all in while you can, learn from your teachers, everything, because they've been through all the steps of your life. And if you just take in maybe one thing from each teacher, you'll be more successful than the person next to you every time, 9 times out of 10. And, read a lot of books, ask a lot of questions, try. I mean, and then if like you're a junior, senior, even a sophomore, try to intern for something that you think that you might like and go try that out. And I think that'll make you more successful than the next person ahead of you. And then, most people when they're getting ready to graduate don't even know what they're going to do, and they just go to college because that's what they think they're supposed to do. And 9 times out of 10, they're dropping out by, their first year, or they went to college and they just took, intro classes and it didn't do anything for them, and then now they're in $60,000, $75,000 in debt just off of 2 semesters because they wanted to go to that big school so they could go with all their friends and party. But it's just not worth it. You're never going to know what you really want to do. And I know a lot of people that took a leap year after I graduated, so this is my 2nd year out of high school, and now I want to go to college, I want to be a doctor, blah blah blah, but they took that leap year to really like set in their stone and think about what they want to do and tried out different things. And now, I mean, one of my buddies is making almost $175,000 a year, so like he's very successful, and he took that leap year, but he wanted to go and be like a accountant or something, and he would have been in outrageous a debt, but he's already got that next step on everybody. He doesn't have to pay his debt off and everything like that. I mean, I would just think about it and learn from a lot of people.
Yeah, I think it's one huge mistake that we're making in our society nowadays to really want to even encourage kids to go to college. I think that it's something that, just like anything else, that you almost have to be called to do.
Yeah.
Because you have to be there with a purpose. If you're not there with a purpose, then you're going to waste it.
Yeah.
You're going to get a degree that's not useful in society. So yeah, I would agree with that.
And you hear it more times than not. People that go to college, that they get out of college, they can't find a job.
Yeah.
Their degree, is really just a piece of paper.
Yeah, I mean, how many kids
Yeah.
that's the case, man? And to the kid that's wanting to graduate right now, man, I would say that if you don't feel like you need to go to college, there's no reason to. I think that there's plenty of opportunity in today's workforce. We just need good people. And the last thing we need is somebody that was forced to go do something and killed a passion. You said something interesting though when you were talking there, and you brought up that money thing, right? And I just want to know your viewpoint, man. What do you think how do you feel about money? Because I'm just curious to know, like, I mean, I know what you make here. It's good money for your age, for sure. But what are your feelings towards money? Like, what do you feel like money does or money is?
Yeah, I mean, money can go 2 different ways. You can look at it. Because like sometimes greed, and you can make as much money as you want in like life, but if you don't use it the right way, then it's really pointless. So it really just depends. Like even at a young age, even if you're making 30, 40, even $20,000, there's different positions in different lives. Different strokes for different folks. So. Really it just depends like how you want to use it. Like I always like to base how my money off of like 3-year plans, so like what I want to be in 3 years, like what I want to own, like investment properties, stuff like that. So like really, I mean, just buying down and saving, and then you'll find your hobbies, you'll spend a little bit more money than what you really want to. But
yeah, I mean, I heard somebody one time tell me that money's a stat but not the scorecard, right?
Yeah.
Like the scoreboard to me is like an impact, like changing lives. And here, obviously, we do a fair amount of revenue. We'll build a lot of roofs this year. Probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 400, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
When we've already passed what we did in 2021 in revenue this year so far, which is crazy. I mean, we're just so blessed here. We really are. But to me though, like we probably could have stopped last year on revenue and had less impact. So for me, money is just a vehicle, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that if you can't, I'm talking to the camera, I'm talking to you, talking to Jen behind the camera, this is for everybody. I think if you can't spend at what you have right now, money is not going to fix your problems. That's like getting married and being like, you know what, our marriage sucks, let's have a baby. You know what I mean? Like, that is just dumb, dude. Like, why are you bringing more in?
Yeah.
If you can't spend it at $40K a year, you sure as hell ain't going to be able to spend it at $150K a year. you know. And that's always the part that's aggravating to me. They're like, well, if we just had more money. It's like businesses, man. They're like, well, if we just had more sales,
Yeah.
like, so now you got more production, and your production
Yeah.
process is what's jacked
Yeah.
up the whole time. Like, if your production ain't right, then your sales isn't right. Your sales isn't gonna fix it. More sales ain't gonna fix it. Just the same way though with when we're talking about people with money. Like
Yeah.
that money conversation, and like I said, I just brought it up because, like you said, that you got that buddy making 175. But I think that's one thing that our schools are missing so bad is financial literacy.
Yeah.
Like we are not teaching these kids. You know, a good friend of ours, Bob Hull, he sponsors FPU class, or not Financial Peace University, but there's a Ramsey class they teach in school about how to manage your money.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish like, you know, the schools and stuff, the school systems were a little changed, you know. Everything's based off that final test for the state, you know. But you don't learn how to, you know, file your taxes. You don't learn how to save money. You don't, like, there's smart investments to make too that somebody could like teach you at a young age, and that's broken your head. And like what you said, like Bob is.
So, yeah, I mean, and so I want to ask the audience too. If you made it this far, if you listen to us talk, drop down in the comments. I want to know what y'all think we can do today to help change our school systems. What can we institute? Does it need to be done at a church level? Does it need to be done at an educational level? What can we do? Because I heard you say something. You said, I wish. When I was just at that retreat, I had a lot of guys come up to me. They're like, man, you just are always trying to figure out how to actually fix things. I don't wish anything, man. I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And so I want to know your thoughts. And this, as we get to the end of the episode here, we'll wrap this up. But y'all drop something down in the comments. I want to read them all and figure out if there's something that we can all collectively come up with together and push towards something. But what do you think would be the best thing that we could do to help change that in our school systems?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is going to the board. You know, some of these schools are just so set in stone on what they think. I mean, talking to them about, like, you know, what we would do and, like, how we could help them, like, personally, like, influence these classes and stuff, you know, because I took calculus, I took, you know, chemistry, and, like, how much of that am I really using? You know, what mx plus b equals what, you know? Like, I haven't used that since I was a sophomore in high school. Like,
so, you know, on that same note, like, do you think that school boards' hands are tied by the state level?
I do.
So, is it something, I don't even know if we could go to a school board and get that change made.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be done at a legislative level, on the state or national level.
Yeah.
You know, so my question is, if that hurdle's too big to overcome today, you know, I encourage the audience to throw out ideas because we're always trying to give back to kids, and I think that's something we've constantly talked about. We're doing Mid-Ohio Youth Mentoring Scramble. You know, we're constantly trying to give back to the kids.
We're playing in the New Hope Scramble.
Yeah, we're playing the New Hope Scramble. I mean, we do a lot of golf outings that give back to other organizations. But I ask y'all, like, what can you do to make a difference? So, Jen, how much time do we got left? I don't care if this thing's all over the place.
1:40.
All right, you got a minute to say anything you want to that camera.
Oh, that's tough. Oh, that's tough. You know, just, you know, I hope, like, a kid that was my age 3 years ago, you know, we all fall down different paths. You know, when you get into high school, it's real difficult to find out who you truly are. But then, like, when you graduate, it's even harder, because, you know, all those kids that you grew up with your whole life, you know, they're not your friend anymore. They go down the bad path or the bumpy road, or they go down the smooth, you know, path. But, you know, you can always hit the middle of it and go through the grass, because that's definitely what I did. You know, I fell down that bumpy path and I cut back over. So, you know, no matter what path you take in life, you know, no matter how low you are in life, you can always recorrect yourself and get on that path and just keep pushing, you know. And if you work hard at anything that you want in life, you will achieve it. And I honestly believe that. And always set goals, you know, because I always wanted to play college baseball, but since I was like, I don't know, 10, and then, you know, I definitely fell down that bumpy road, and, you know, if I didn't recorrect myself, who knows where I would have been at this point in my life. But, you know, there's always be at least one or two people when you're down that bumpy path that will keep, you know, biting at the bug about it. And, you know, one day you're just going to come to realization, and I just hope it's not too late, you know, because, you know, we all have a purpose in life. So, you know, and there's people around that are always going to see the best in you, even when you don't see the best in you. So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool, man. I really like what you said there, and Yeah, I would agree that my story, and we'll share that on here someday. But my story is, I think, a good interpretation of that. I think one thing that you said that I want the viewer to resonate with is that you can set goals for things that we will attain and attain them. Like I'm super proud of you for playing college baseball, but also realize when you're setting those goals that the journey is almost more fun than the actual peak.
Yeah.
And when you talk to the people that have climbed Everest, they talk about how going up the mountain was more fun than summiting.
Yeah.
So that's, I guess, my little tidbit from that, is to realize that the journey is more fun than the actual summit.
Yeah, it was.
So we appreciate y'all for watching this thing the whole way through.
I thought it was over.
So a few things here. If you want to be on an episode of The Why, please reach out to me. Reach out to my team. We'd love to have you guys on an episode. Just message us on Facebook. Get a hold of me directly. We'd love to have you all on here. If there's anything we can ever do to help y'all out, please let us know. And